So Pam Bondi was fired as Attorney General. She was also subpoenaed to testify about the Epstein files. And now the Trump DOJ is trying to get her out of it, actually arguing that since she is no longer AG, the subpoena doesn't apply. Which is crazy. Some would argue even it looks like bullshit because it appeared that even though she was fired, she would have to appear before the House Oversight Committee is scheduled. In fact, the committee's ranking member, Robert Garcia, said at the time she will not escape accountability. She must answer for her mishandling of the Epstein files and the special treatment she has given Ghislaine Maxwell. But now you got the Trump DOJ making their move. Assistant Attorney General Patrick Davis sending a letter to Committee Chairman James Comer arguing Ms. Bondi no longer holds that office. As a result, because Ms. Bondi no longer can testify in her official capacity as Attorney General, the department's position is that the subpoena no longer obligates her to appear on April 14th. We kindly ask that you confirm that the subpoena is withdrawn. And so their logic, or you could argue their argument that they don't actually believe in, is that she is not AG anymore, and so the subpoena to the AG does not apply to her. So far, the committee doesn't appear to be going along with it. You had a committee spokesperson saying they will contact Pam Bondi's personal counsel to discuss next steps regarding scheduling her deposition. Republican Nancy Mace posted on Twitter that the subpoena was for Bondi by name, not by title, and adding, "The American people deserve answers, and we expect her to appear as soon as a new date is set." Also, Mace and Democrat Ro Khanna sent a joint letter to Comer saying the removal of Pam Bondi as Attorney General does not diminish the committee's legitimate oversight interest in seeking her sworn testimony or the need for accountability and information about files withheld from the public by the DOJ. And adding, on the contrary, it makes her sworn testimony even more important. And then as far as Garcia, he accused Bondi of trying to get out of her legal obligation to testify and saying, if she defies the subpoena, we will begin contempt charges in the Congress. The survivors deserve justice. And that one's a big one because for contempt charges to move forward, Garcia would need the support of at least 3 Republicans on that committee, plus a vote by the full House. But also, Bondi doesn't exactly have a lot of defenders at the moment. Trump fired her, the MAGA coalition has largely moved on, and both Republicans and Democrats on the committee, they're saying she needs to testify. And so the votes are contempt. They might actually be easier to get than you'd expect, and you had Chairman Comer saying that he isn't sure how to proceed and he wants to talk to Republicans over the weekend before making a decision, which really sounds more like how are we going to navigate Trump on this? But at least for now, he says that he plans to move forward with the subpoena. And then as far as the Trump DOJ, they say that the agency remains committed to working cooperatively with the committee, and Bondi herself hasn't responded yet. This whole thing, this part's my opinion. That was a story. This is my opinion. It adds this very interesting but also infuriating layer to the situation, right? Because the general idea in the story has been that Trump's actually been very angry at Pam Bondi. She's fumbled things with the Epstein files in a way that it actually got Republicans to say, hey, we need these, and it's kind of screwed Trump. There was also the belief that he was angry that she hasn't been going after his political enemies successfully. But now they've created this whole other situation with trying to get her out of the deposition that it seems like maybe firing her was a way to try to cover things up. And that's just going to increase interest, right? There's even more smoke and people are going, okay, well, we got to find the fire. But for now, we'll have to see how Bondi tries to wiggle out of this and what the committee and I guess the rest of the Congress does about it.